communicated differently? Have you sort of taken hold of the ball in a different way?
Yeah, I think for me, I actually took a lot of parallels from the government. I actually think our government's handled the crisis exceptionally well. And the daily briefings has become part of people's routine. And I think when you're in a world of change and uncertainty, having something that's consistent gives you an anchor point, something to relate to. So what I've done is I've moved to having daily updates with the entire team. So every single day, the team will get an update from me about where we are as a business, how we're feeling as a business, what feedback I'm getting from individuals, and I send that out every day. As a consequence of getting that, I probably get 20, 30 responses back a day that I then re-engage with and talk to and create a dialogue. So certainly much more communication than I've ever done before. And there was a point, I think, on update 22 when I thought, is this really necessary? But the feedback I get from people is that anchor point. It is something to look forward to. It gives them a level of certainty in the business. So I think for me, communication. That is the key, and that's where I've moved to, I think.
And you've got close to 400 staff, I'm right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming this has obviously impacted everybody from you right the way through to everybody in the organisation. Are you having to communicate differently with different segments, those that perhaps may be furloughed or not?
Well, we've got three groups of staff. We've got staff who are working from home, which is about a third. We've probably got another quarter who are skeleton crews providing emergency support. We still provide emergency support for the country, so we still look after water leaks, electricity outages, bridge strikes, something where there's a national emergency. And then we've got the rest of the staff in furlough. We've asked everybody to give us their private emails, private mobiles, an ability to access and communicate with them so that we can talk to everybody. So the form we use is that we can actually send a mobile message to everybody in the company and get an instant, lands on your phone, get instant feedback. We send it to their private emails, we send it to their work emails where they're working. So we're using all the mediums. We use Teams, we use Zoom, we use all of those. I speak to my own team every day. Again, part of that routine at 11 o'clock every day. The board get together and we have a conversation about how we're feeling, what's been happening in the teams, what's the feedback from the company. So we're trying to keep it alive. Probably for us, we were slow to move to new technology. I think construction always is. So I think we were very traditional in our outlook. I think this really is questioning whether we'll ever go back to the old way of working, travelling around the country, travelling to York, where our head office is. That's something that I might not have to do as often.
And as you begin, I guess we're week 6, 7 into this experience in terms of lockdown, you must be beginning to look at how you bring your workforce back into full operation. And I guess my first question, we talked a little bit about this the other day, is first question is, how is this impacting your way of delivering business right now? What's the real impact of COVID on how you go about your business on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I mean, we are a hands-on business. We're a construction company. We are a engineering solutions company. We work out the depot. So not being able to do that is challenging. Our engineers can still work online. They can still send designs through media like this. We are very strong on BIM 2 accreditation, and we're able to exchange with customers at this level. But actually getting the kit out requires physically to be in a depot, and that's the challenge. So what we have done is we have approached this in stages. So stage 1 for us was, we had 2 priorities when we first saw the lockdown. One was to protect our people. I think everybody says that. And I got to be honest, that was our genuine first stage. Our second objective, which was very closely linked to it, was maintain the cash of the business, cash flow of the business. That's about securing our long-term future. So the first thing was get our people safe. So we acted very quickly. I think we probably went a week or so ahead of everybody else. So we took our high-risk people, put them on furlough. At the time it wasn't furlough, we just sent them home. Yeah. We then took up all those staff who could work from home, we worked from home, and then we closed our depots. We went very quickly into shutdown mode, which was the right thing to do. But we as a business are a solutions business, so we then very quickly moved to how do we get back out of this. So phase 1 was get your people safe. Phase 2 was how do we get back to work. So we're already planning that now. We have been for the last 3 or 4 weeks. What we've done is we've called on everybody in the business, from yard operative, yard supervisors, general managers, operations team, to actually devise a set of revised operating procedures that we can adopt to keep us safe, but actually support our customers. We think we know we're going to do that on a phased basis. So we'll look at 4 depots opening fully on the 11th of May, and that's what we're targeting. What we're doing is we call it the pre-flight check, getting that depot ready to be safe. So marking out the spaces that people can work in, closing down the work areas that people shouldn't be working in, making sure we can stay within the social distancing regulations. We'll be working with the Construction Leadership Council, working with Civil Engineering Contractors Association, developing a set of procedures that we know we can work to. We're going to test that out in the 4 depots. The depots themselves will tell us what works, what doesn't, and that will then, they'll move on and up their productivity and pass the learning on to the next 4 depots. And slowly but surely we'll open up them. So we're going to move in a phase, slow. We're using the analogy of a baby crawl, walk, jog, run. So that's the kind of process. So making sure safety is the paramount. So test it first, make sure it works. And that will happen the 11th. I'm hopeful that experience means that by June, most of our depots will have an operational capability. It will never be full, but we'll be able to support our customers. And at that point, I think the construction industry is moving into that space of saying we need to actually get back to the projects we're working on.
Yeah.